Welcome to the Golden Hour Birth Podcast, where we navigate the transformative journey of birth stories, aiming to empower and heal. I am your co-host, Liz, and my co-host, Natalie, is in San Diego right now on a much-deserved vacation. But we are passionate birth advocates, and we're doulas in training. We're exploring the depths of birth experiences. We're offering insights and guidance and a pathway to reclaiming your narrative. In today's episode, we'll be giving you a sneak peek at Module 1 of our upcoming mini course, Processing Your Birth Story, Finding Peace and Healing. The Golden Hour Birth Podcast, a podcast about real birth stories and creating connections through our shared experiences.
Childbirth isn't just about the child. It's about the person who gave birth, their lives, their wisdom, and their empowerment.
We're Liz
and Natalie,
the Golden Hour Birth Podcast, and we're here to laugh with you,
cry with you,
and hold space for you. Welcome back to an episode of the Golden Hour Birth Podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be giving you an overview of Module 1 of our upcoming course. And I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on what's going on with Natalie and I. We both finished up our doula training, and Natalie has her first client, which is so exciting because she's been working really hard at this. And as you guys know, we are working moms. We both have 2 kids and we both work full-time jobs and we do the podcast. So adding on another thing, which we are passionate about, has been, trying at times. But because we are so passionate about it, we just really feel a calling to this work. We really just want to be supportive to every mother and birthing person out there, which is why we do the podcast too. And now we're doing it, in hands-on work as well, which we are very excited about. So go ahead, and if you know anybody who needs a doula, we also do virtual. Send them our way. We would be very appreciative, or send them our podcast. All right. So today we're going to talk about our course, which we've created, which is all about reclaiming your birth story, processing those feelings, and just really coming to terms with a birth story, whether it's positive, negative, coming to terms with everything that happened during your birth experience. It just has so many benefits: becoming empowered, dealing with unresolved emotions that might come up later. If you're in postpartum right now, just enhancing that experience, finding connection and support, and then preparation for future births. This is just an overview of Module 1. So we'll just dive right into it. Giving birth is such an intense and transformative experience that it stays with you kind of for your whole life. I know even like my mom still talks about it a little bit from what she remembers. But I know I talk about it, and my kid is 5 years old now. So it still just comes up in like different aspects of my life. Many women look back on their birth with joy and pride. For others, it can bring up difficult emotions like fear, anxiety, disappointment, and, sometimes trauma, which is why we created this course, to provide a space to acknowledge your birth story, understand its impact, and move towards healing. And in Module 1, we lay the groundwork to do just that. So the first topic in Module 1 is the emotional impact. So we start by talking about identifying and acknowledging the emotional impact of your birth. The experience of bringing life into the world is incredibly powerful on an emotional level. These emotions can vary widely, from euphoric highs to distressing lows. We all know that labor land feeling. It's so important to identify what you personally felt, whether it was joy, grief, peace, anger, or like mine, a whole mix of emotions. Making space for your feelings and naming them is the first step in processing your experience. My own birth experience was marked by a lot of challenges. If you've heard my story, a retained placenta, hemorrhaging, the transfer to the hospital floor. My postpartum period was very daunting, feeding difficulties and anxiety. But I always describe my birth as very positive and empowering. So, it's just a whole mix of emotions. And throughout all of this time, I had feelings of guilt, self-blame, and isolation. In this topic, we'll walk you through on kind of reflecting your birth story, getting in touch with the full range of emotions that it brings up for you. This reflection and acknowledgement sets the stage for addressing unresolved issues down the road. And then we have topic 2, which is talking about the deeper meaning. So we explore how your birth story holds a deeper meaning and significance in your life. Beyond just what, physically happened that day, your birth experience can profoundly shape your perspective on yourself. The topic of self-blame comes up a lot in our birth stories. We hear so many people talking about how they felt like their body failed them, just variations of that. And self-blame is a big, emotion that people just don't really deal with. So we'll discuss how to uncover the beliefs, assumptions, or different emotional patterns that may have come from your birth story. For example, if you, felt out of control during birth, that could influence your beliefs about your own capabilities and trusting your body, which is another huge issue that can come up. We stop trusting our bodies. We stop trusting our intuition. So by recognizing areas like this where your birth experience shaped you, you can start to challenge your limiting beliefs and develop new empowering ones. And our course provides different exercises like journaling to help you dive deeper into those implications of your story. So then we have our third topic in Module 1, which is the importance of processing. So finally, we'll look at why actively processing your birth story is so crucial for healing and growth. It goes beyond just retelling your birth story to others, which I'm sure we've all done plenty of times. It's the internal work to address the emotions, fears, and unresolved issues. And what we found from our, experience doing the podcast is that so many people, probably just like you, may not even recognize they experienced a difficult birth until weeks or months after the delivery room lights have dimmed. It can manifest as overwhelming anxiety, from a complicated postpartum period like myself, guilt and self-blame from unexpected challenges in having to have a C-section, breastfeeding, or, flashbacks of any moments that felt kind of anything but empowering. So, the truth is, birth trauma wears many different masks. But of course, this course isn't just for people who've experienced birth trauma. It can be, just unpacking kind of any negative feelings that surround it. Maybe somebody in your life wasn't as helpful as you hoped they would be. You had a baby that was difficult. There's just a lot of different things. And, birth trauma can even come in many different forms. Not being listened to, getting a cervical check that you didn't, consent to. The list can go on and on. We talk about that in the first episode of this kind of mini course episode. So, we're just really hoping that this course can be a beacon of hope, offering a path to healing, recovery, empowerment, regardless of the path your birth may have taken. We hope that it's time to reclaim your birth story and write a new chapter filled with strength, resilience, and renewed understanding. We'll share all the benefits that, can come with processing your birth story. Increased self-awareness, personal empowerment, resolving fears, strengthening resilience, and a lot more. And we'll talk about different methods you can use, like talking to a friend or therapist, journaling, joining support groups, trying expressive arts, so many different things. The key is creating a safe space to fully explore your experience and emerge with greater understanding and peace. We'll provide tangible techniques to guide you through this journey. So that'll be kind of what we cover in Module 1. We'll be doing some more of these episodes, kind of going through all the different modules so that you can, get a good idea of what you're getting into before signing up for our course. We want you to trust us, trust the process, trust the course so that you can feel safe to be able to take this emotional journey. So as you can see, the course provides an in-depth roadmap to reflect on your birth story, understand its impact, and take steps towards emotional healing. So stay tuned for the full course launch coming soon. I don't think we have an exact date yet. It is still in the works. We did have a little issue with recording our videos. It just got lost pretty much. I had tech support looking for it. And so, just techie things that we're not that great at, but we can't wait for you to join our community and continue your healing journey. If you have any thoughts or reflections after listening to this episode, if you want to hear more, just feel free to reach out. You could also find us on Instagram and Facebook. We will be back next week with another birth story. So stay tuned for that. We're still doing those every other week for now. As life goes, it just got a little overwhelming for us to be kind of producing these episodes every week. It is just Nat and I. We record each episode ourselves. We edit each episode. We have to put it up on the website or I don't even know the tech words for this. Our hosting podcast website, put it out to Apple and Spotify, and then we do the marketing as well. So we truly, truly appreciate if you share this with anybody who you think might be helpful. Any of our birth story episodes, anything just to get us, more listeners and get the word out. So we will catch you next episode. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Golden Hour Birth Podcast. We hope you've enjoyed our discussion and found it insightful and beneficial. Remember, the Golden Hour Birth Podcast is made possible by the support of listeners like you. If you appreciate the content we bring you each week, consider leaving us a review on your favorite podcast platform or sharing the show with your friends and family. Your support helps us reach more people and continue creating valuable episodes. If you have any questions, suggestions, or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, we'd love to hear from you. You can reach us on our website, www.goldenhourbirthpodcast, or connect with us on social media. We value your feedback and want to make sure that we're delivering the content you want to hear. Before we sign off, we'd like to express our gratitude to our incredible guests who joined us today. We are honored that they trust us enough to be so open and vulnerable. We're grateful for their time and willingness to share their stories with us. If you're interested in taking the conversation further with us, join us on our Facebook group, The Golden Hour Birth Circle. We'll be back next week with another exciting episode, so be sure to tune in. Until then, stay golden and remember to take care of yourself. We'll catch you on the next episode of the Golden Hour Birth Podcast. Bye!